Welcome to the Thursday stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Thursday morning. Madame Defarge coming in hot with the tier 1 sub, 10 months. Thank you so much, I appreciate that. Sajab, how's it going? Hey, Astro B London, Dak Apollyon, how's it going? Howdy everybody. It is indeed Friday Junior, and I totally have absolutely no idea what to do today, but that's okay. You know what? That's okay. We're gonna wing it. Morning. Howdy, Darknet. How's it going? ADT was my very first Twitch sub. Oh, that's awesome. I feel very honored to be the first. Sorry for being a few minutes late. I had a problem with the internet. Apparently, the Wi-Fi was down for a moment. I think they're doing some work out there. I hope that doesn't mean anything for the future, but London is sunny but cool. Nice. So thank you, Madame Defarge. I appreciate that, as always. Your support is very much appreciated. Alio, how's it going? Congrats on the Bad Bunny raid. Nice! Hey, that's another one. Nice. That's pretty cool, Madame Defarge. Alright. At the very least, I have my coffee ready, so at the very least, I have my coffee ready, so we'll do what we can. All right, folks. Let me see. Make sure I got everything ready. Have you ever tuned into IRI? I sometimes hang out in the lurk or the C-SPAN. For the C-SPAN. No, thank you. I was overwhelmed, but in a good way. I hope I wasn't a total free. I'm sure you were fine, Madame Defarge. That's pretty cool. Nice. Alright, folks. We've got a few headlines to go through. Apparently, as you folks may or may not know, the infamous Ron Watkins is running for office in Arizona, I believe. And, of course, CNN decided to give him an interview. But I wasn't able to locate that interview, but unbelievable. Twitch VODs were down and down detected big spikes from 7 sites. Yikes. Yeah, no, this was actually my, internet, because I saw my router, you know, doing the blinking lights, so this time it was not Twitch. At least for me. At least for me. IRI, I'm really important. Alright, folks, we've got a few headlines. I think that If somebody can find that interview with Ron Watkins, that would be cool. I meant to go over this the other day, but I didn't have time. The routers? Yeah. No, not Roy. Did he mean Reuters, the news outlet, or like routers?
You know what I have to say to that? Fuck you!
Okay.
Excuse me, are you vaccinated?
Starting off great already in 2 seconds. Starting off great in 2 seconds. Jesus Christ.
Excuse me, are you vaccinated? You know what I have to say to that? Fuck you! I am absolutely disgusted with what's going on here in Los Angeles. We need to take these guys out. They are all indoctrinated with this Chinese communist fascist narrative. And you know what? We're not gonna have it.
Absolutely not. Fuck that.
We need to kill their cash flow, and that's gonna kill them. Actually, I would like to see them publicly hanging in the town square.
Okay, all right.
Good morning, America. You're watching Channel 5 News. We're here in Hollywood, California, on the corner of Hollywood Vine, where there is a rally to save America. By save America, what is it? What's the name of the rally? Hey, what's the name of this rally again?
Unity March.
What's the catchphrase for this march?
Let the lions loose.
Who are the lions?
We're the lions.
Who are the sheep?
Oh, all the fucking idiots that like put shit in their arm.
What's your Instagram handle?
It's Liberty is Dope 1.
Here we are, Channel 5 live worldwide, Hollywood and Vine, Freedom March.
Oh my
2021 from today and all days forward. Let's take our country back. Let's get it back. Get back to the Lord. Get our country back and do it. Bring it back.
One of the toughest vaccine mandates in the nation coming to Los Angeles. The city council approving a measure requiring proof of full vaccination to enter many indoor businesses.
Eligible students in the nation's second.
What? Ron Watkins is actually very popular here in Arizona. I'm pretty sure he's going to win, as all local Democrats are getting crushed in local school board elections. And but what is he running for again? I don't think he's running for any of that, is he? To be fair, I had more or less the same reaction to my local anti-mask protest, so who am I to judge harsh language? No, it's not. Hey, Octus Goodies. No, it's not the harsh language. It was the skirting of the skirting of TOS calling for violence. That's what kind of like made me skip over that.
Largest school district will now be required to get vaccinated against the coronavirus. It comes amid soaring pandemic cases across the country.
And they're putting on CRT. It's time to just move on and move away. I don't want my kid masked up. I don't want them learning about critical race theory. I don't want them learning about Antifa, and they still pass these mandates on these kids. They still put it in schools. We have to take our kids out of this school.
There are certain people that maybe it's better for them, maybe.
My thing is, it's 99%.
Yeah, I do remember when I took a course on Antifa.
Survival rate. Like, what is it for from a health standpoint? It's not. It's a business.
If we listen to pharma, our cough syrup will still have heroin in it.
It's a dumpster fuck.
That's not. Tell me you haven't read a single study or have the capabilities of understanding studies without telling me you don't have the capability of understanding studies. Yeah, nothing but Karens and Tucker Carlson's. Morning, I got you. I was just lolling about her starting off at 11. Yeah, that's not the problem. This person is clearly a clown. Ron Watkins is running for Congress. Here's the thing, all Democrats are polling at the lowest levels. Here in Arizona, personally, I'd vote for President Biden, and I would never vote for him again. It's almost like when you... It's almost like when you run on certain platforms and very popular platforms in an attempt to make this place better, and you don't deliver on any of these things. It's almost as if that depresses the turnout, and you're not going to get the same energy for people to come out and vote for you again. The Democratic Party has just been an absolute letdown, and they have taken L just after L after L own goals. It's not even... These are own goals, by the way. Oh, hey, chat. This needs to be an emote. Hold on. No, that needs to be an emote. That needs to be an emote. Hey, Skidadier, how's it going? That needs to be... Oh my god. That needs to be an emote. Are staunch Democrats as well, and they're not going to vote in the midterms. Well, based on the realities of the indigenous folk, I mean, the Democratic Party hasn't really done much either, right? I mean, like, okay, why would you vote for them? And again, this isn't to say like, oh yeah, the Republican Party is like awesome and they're way much better. The point is, my point is that these popular platforms that you ran on that delivered the Senate to you were popular, and if you don't deliver, people are just not going to come out for you again. That was a one-time deal, right? The senatorial race in Georgia to deliver those 50-50 Senate results was a one-time deal, and they blew it. They're blowing it right now. They still have time to turn this around, but it doesn't look like they're interested in doing that. Did you see what I posted today? House Sparks covering the crazy Fox News jungle. A judge who claims to now Obama's remotely controlling Biden. No way. All right, we're gonna have to take a look at that. What do you call that emote? I don't even know, but it looks like it should be an emote. This looks like it should be an emote. Wait, no. That's not it. Yeah, this looks like it should be an emote. This exact still frame right here. The brick wall moving onto Dems is a pseudo-Dem mansion. Yeah, exactly. Anyways, we're getting off topic.
A dumpster fuck. We are going by the Nazi playbook. Wake up, guys. The vaccine passport is like wearing a yellow star on your arm. If you're too brainwashed and too stupid to see that a mask and a vaccine are not going to protect you from fascism, you know what? I've got some swampland in Florida for you.
Huh? What does that mean?
That means I'm buying swampland in Florida. That's like the stupidest thing you could possibly do. What kind of a question is that, dude? Come on.
Because it sinks under the mud or whatever?
Oh, it's like, it's not an investment.
Would you rather live in Wuhan, China, or Portland, Oregon?
Neither.
You have to pick a studio apartment in either city.
Oh my god. This is just beyond ridiculous. If I didn't take people where they hired me to take them, I wouldn't expect them to get back on my bus. We expect leaders to take us where we want to go. The problem, it seems to me, begins when when things don't improve, and yet these leaders keep expecting us to get on their bus. I think this is when leaders become something else. Politicians. Interesting. Sense8 is a great show, by the way. A mask and vaccine won't protect you from fascism. It won't promote you to it either. True. Wait, hold on. That's true. True, I guess. Or even good. Just saying that most people I speak with, call lists for the Dem Party, are either not going to vote or switching vote to independents or conservative. Yikes. Naj KO anti-vax, yes. Oh yeah, there we go. That's a great name. Maybe.
I wouldn't. I would not.
It's would you rather. You gotta pick one.
I don't care. I'm not answering that question because I would rather not do either one of them. Fuck Joe Biden.
Local celebrity here. Yeah, man. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, man. I definitely fuck with Donald Trump heavies.
Not discriminating against the black people with this vaccine, is it?
And if it wasn't for him, EDD, PPP, it wouldn't exist. So actually, Donald Trump actually made a big impact.
Wait. Are they just praising Donald Trump? But isn't he also the president who put the policies in motion to make this vaccine? Yeah, you're gonna have to square that circle there, logically. And that guy's trolling hard, probably.
What's up?
Hi.
on your mind?
Standing up for sovereignty.
Sovereignty.
Soul sovereignty. Medical freedom. Freedom. This beautiful country we stand for. There's so much on my mind. Ah! Sorry.
Father, we thank you for your protection. We thank you that you're not done with our nation.
Thank you, God.
Father, we thank you. We pray for our enemies today. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.
Yeah, my name is Grizzly. I am 17 years old. I live in Orange County, and I'm here to protest for freedom. Stand up for what's right.
You're a fucking shit! The fuck out of here, commie motherfucker! Hey, this is our town, motherfucker! Try to take it! Try to take it!
Very normal. Very hinged. Very normal. Very hinged.
What had brought you to the White Lives Matter rally in HB?
Oh my God.
I don't like the fucking Klan. As someone who's Semitic or half Semitic, you know, I don't like that shit. You
what?
Know, and I went there and all I saw was people ganging up on people with American flags, and I didn't stand for that.
Who'd you come here with?
I came here with Kelly right here.
Kobe Bryant was assassinated by the Clintons!
What?
Yeah. Shut the fuck up, bitch!
No. No, you can't just say those things. I got gifted an ANCAP sub. Well, at least you got the little emote. That's right. Trump created the vaccine for a fake virus that was bioengineered by China to put microchips in all of us so they can track us. It doesn't have to make sense. Right, no, you missed the key point there, Octosquiddies. You missed the key point. It was also all, this is satire, by the way, YouTube. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it, YouTube. You forgot the one key part, Octosquiddies. This was a campaign by Bill Gates. You forgot the key part. Bill Gates is behind all of this. Hey Thendera, how's it going? Anarchist Laboratory. Got a lot of awesome people in chat today. Look at that. I think I got everybody. Sweet. My snark got moderated, lol. Yeah, auto mod is there for a reason. To do what Channel 5 and Jordan Klepper do, I'd need a hazmat suit and a team of security. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't do what he does. I couldn't do what he does. Too much risk. Too much risk, sorry.
Fuck you. Fuck your life.
Whoa.
Fucking die, homie, straight up.
Kelly J. Patriot, hola amigos and amigas. We're up here in Hollywood, and you know it's a big day.
Can you describe what this flag is? And
exactly what this is a for.
I'm still pissed that my 5G didn't upgrade. I thought about throwing Bill in there as well, but even I can't bring myself that deep into the QAnon. Yeah, like, it is unbelievable the damage, misinformation, and all of these like conspiratorial theories that have been perpetuated by the internet. It is just unbelievable to me how just how much it permeates through too. I'm just hoping for the best. I hope that Bernie separates himself from Joe Biden. Honestly, Joe is really hurting our chances in the midterms in 2024. Yeah, here's the thing, White Hat. I don't want to be. I don't want to be like jumping the shark, but I've said this multiple times on stream. I honestly think that it's done. I honestly think it's done. This past couple of weeks have kind of just like put the final nails in the coffin. I really think that unless something dramatic happens where the Democratic Party just magically gets its collective ish together and just like starts doing what it should be doing in terms of like improving the lives of people and passing robust legislation that has been desperately needed for decades, it's done. I don't want to like jump the shark or be putting the cart before the horse or whatever, but I think it's already done. I think that what's going to happen is because the Democratic Party isn't going to get its collective ish together by the time it's necessary, they are just going to get swept out of office in 2022, And then when it comes to 2024, I suspect that they will lose as well. I mean, and you work for what, the Democratic like call list? Yeah, I mean, you know, you can gauge what's happening. The Dems do not have the mandate and votes to push through serious change. Oh, no. They absolutely wait. No. They do have the capabilities of doing things. That's the problem, Astro London. They have the ability to do things. I understand that they can't like enact everything that they want, but there are certain things that they can do. There are certain things that it is within their purview to do, while they still have the majority, as slim as it may be. And they're choosing to sit it out, wait it out, negotiate, and like allow people like Joe Manchin to dictate terms. Even if Dems gain seats, I wouldn't be surprised to see more of them sell out to the fossil fuel industry. Well, maybe that's the only way they would keep them. You're right, Darknet. I heard Manchin is leaving the DNC. These were rumors, but I don't know. I think these are rumors as of right now. I love you, and I hope we all can get it together. I love Republicans, Democrats, and liberals. I love them all. I just want the best for our country. I wish Bernie would step up a little harder because his voice is really our voice. Yeah, like, I don't... Yeah, I mainly, my ire is directed towards where it needs to be, right? Like, I don't single out certain... I don't single out, like, an individual, like... Republican random person, right? Like, I single out like the Tucker Carlsons. I single out like Madison Cawthorn or whatever his name is, Marjorie Taylor Greene, because these are like people who are actively damaging our country. They come so close to getting it, and it drives me nuts. They get the right idea when it comes to anti-big pharma and dark money, but then they stop at understanding who is who. Yeah, like, they keep passing the buck around as an excuse to not do anything. Yeah, exactly. And you know what? That's not going to work anymore. That's not going to work anymore. That's just not going to, that's just not going to work anymore. I hope I don't anger anybody here, but I really wish the Dems would stop being afraid of nuclear energy. It's not about being afraid of nuclear energy. It's about doing what's cheaper and more efficient and faster. Wait, if you knew that there was a cheaper and faster way of getting the ball rolling, then shouldn't we go that right? Then shouldn't we do that? Because like right now, solar and wind, hydroelectric, all of these renewable energy, not only are they cheaper and don't have the same propensity or issues that nuclear has, but more importantly, above all, they can be put online faster than developing like nuclear plants, right? You are right, I love your stream because we can all share your views without judgment after run, but I'm subscribing and be right back and be back at time again. Thank you, I appreciate that. But if they can't get the votes, then they should go nuclear, otherwise nothing will get done. Oh, you mean like, wait. Nuclear energy, or you mean like going nuclear in the Senate? Oh, I think you mean literally just nuclear. So, yeah, but they're not getting votes either way. So that's kind of the problem, right? There's a corporate will to kill off cheaper and faster methods as they yield less profit for them. And now you're getting it. Now you're getting it. Manchin supports nuclear? I don't think so. He was given multiple options, and he's so far not even supporting a single thing when it comes to climate initiatives. He's not supporting anything. It's off the table for him. He says a lot of things in public, and he said multiple times that he's very interested in solving the climate crisis and blah blah blah. But like, he's not putting anything down on the table. Every time he gets a proposal and it has even an iota of like an attempt to solve climate change or anything related to climate energy, to clean energy or anything like that, it's off the table. It's off the table. He's not interested. He's not going to be interested. The only thing he cares about is his personal investments in coal and his donors. That's what he cares about. These people don't know the 1717 musical, so we're in caps and halves. Howdy, howdy. Manchin supports his continued existence, but isn't doing much to ensure it because he thinks that it's fine. He thinks it's fine. He's paid not to care. Well, I tried. Yeah, like the thing is, you're not gonna sway me unless you bring some like material, unless you bring me some material thing that would make me change my mind. The only thing that would change my mind is better information. And right now, I mean, unless you have like better data than the collective work of the entire body of climate scientists, then it's going to be hard to sway me unless you have like a better argument than the collective of like an international coalition of climate scientists who say that we really need to go to renewable as quickly as possible in as many ways as possible now. Basically now.
Four banger is 4 flags on one pole. So if you go up to the top, I got the God, Guns, and Trump flag, and that flew in the Capitol of DC on January 6th.
Whoa! That flew on the Capitol at January 6th? FBI? I'd like to direct your attention to a certain somebody.
The steel flag, the second up top.
You know what? I believe totally in your freedoms. I do. You got to do what you have to do. But I recommend take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccines. But no, that's okay. That's all right.
Wait.
You got your freedoms. But I happen to take the vaccine.
Do you still support Trump, even though Trump was heavy on the vaccine?
I recommend take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccine.
Yeah. Cool. Nice meme. They have wonderful little nuclear power plants they shoot into space. Why not use that technology down here? Because we don't... Wait. We don't have, like, that technology here. I prefer renewable, but the technology isn't where it needs to be. Nuclear is the best option we have right now. I don't know. I don't think so. I think that based on, like, what we have right now, we even have the ability to create battery systems. We have the ability right now to create battery systems in a closed loop, where it actually doesn't really emit or have that much of a large carbon footprint, if at all. I mean, like, we have the ability to do this, and like, especially with solar. Solar has been like advanced to such a degree that, I mean, not only is it like wildly cheaper, but it's not really that hard to do. It's not really that hard to do, especially when it comes to solar.
I don't think he was too heavy on the vaccine. He was just trying to tell people what may be available and make their own decision. I don't think he was forcing them. He wasn't offering them money. He wasn't offering to pay their tuition. He wasn't offering millions of dollars. He wasn't offering them free donuts. He wasn't offering them milkshakes, you know, a free hamburger, free something. You know, just it's crazy. And it's proven that it has creepy crawlers in it. It has pieces of metal.
What are creepy crawlers?
It's things with tentacles. And they like try to move together. It's like they're a family
No. Okay, so just to be clear, the vaccine has none of that. The vaccine has nothing live in it. The vaccine also has absolutely no metals in it. I don't know where this person is getting that idea. I have no idea where this person's getting that idea. He spent way too much time on Facebook or 8chan or whatever.
Satanic little particles.
Oh, I see. Okay, so we have an Alex Jones viewer right there. Okay, yeah, this is something that you would probably find on Alex Jones's channel.
The creepy crawler agenda?
I think it's to depopulate. It's things that are bad for people. Kids growing tails, kids growing up with animal hair.
It's for the new.
So just to be clear, that literally never happened. Wait, do they think like that's some weird like do they think like some weird like experiments are going on? That's not like, none of this is true. Wind farms are enormous because they have cause more ecological damage with less output. I'd have to see the studies on that, because I see more the opposite. I've seen like more things of the opposite form. Those forms of energy use capture with inherent inefficiencies of the nuclear power plants they put on Mars actually generate electricity with no carbon emissions. I don't know about that.
New World Order, I think they want to get us all on the world, you know, in the money system. So I know it's about the New World Order. It's to depopulate.
Media beef, media fiasco. They're yelling.
Hold on.
Oh shit, we're going viral. We're going viral.
Here we go.
We're walking away. We're going viral. Oh shit, we're going viral. We're going viral. We're going viral.
Oh, so that?
We're going viral. Viral? We're going viral.
Are you going viral?
They should use wherever they can. Yeah, hydroelectric is good.
Don't air this at all, please. We're getting big time
Sky braiders are the most advanced form of green energy.
Love the science. There we go. What do you guys do out here? What's going on?
Walking
MAGA
around
soldier.
talking to people, saying what's up after a hectic 2 weeks on the road.
Okay. You like the sick?
Freestyle rapper. What?
January Sixers.
Oh, okay. I like
Oh
that.
no,
You got the whole setup? Is that a
no.
gimbal? Look how stable your man is right now.
Yeah, it's pretty stable. Why is it? January 6th. Were you guys there? That was a fun time, right?
I was not there. Were you there?
I was there.
Uh-oh.
It was a great time. I don't know.
FBI, I would also like to point your attention to this other person. Right, Madame Defarge. Actually, I think the Beckosphere went over that, what I was talking about creating like batteries, battery systems that become closed loops, that are made with a closed loop system to avoid and mitigate and even eliminate the damage done by creating those batteries. Yeah, I think that's the Beckosphere kind of like touched up on that. Geothermal on the west coast must be right there. There's areas that can use geothermal as well, if applicable. But I think like the best renewable out there that's cheap and efficient and can be deployed in right now actually will be solar. I think is the best one. I think followed up by wind would be the second one. Solar is relatively good, but it needs to be done right. Yep. Batteries like pumped into hydro and gravity batteries are good. Not sure. January 6th is the right one. Woodstock, everyone was there. True.
What that means to people, does that mean I'm a bad guy? Am I a bad guy for going?
No.
People think I am?
Yikes,
I don't think you're a bad
KTS shine.
guy. How can you be a bad guy with a nice suit like that?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
How do you feel right now? We're on the Walk of Fame. Do you think that you're ever going to have a star of your own?
I never thought about that. I think Hollywood is going down the drain right now. I think there'll be a new Hollywood coming soon, somewhere else. I don't know. I don't want to be a part of this industry anymore.
When you say Hollywood's going down the drain, what type of stuff do you mean?
Well, if you think about it, everything that you watch on TV is pretty much propaganda, rituals of satanic crap. So,
no.
There you go. I'm not going to be part of Hollywood.
What's your favorite TV show?
Probably American Horror Story.
That's like the most satanic show on television.
It is, but you watch it to understand what they're doing.
What? Oh man. You got this dude walking backwards the whole time. Hey, base of PJ. People are so quick to throw renewables under the bus without giving them a chance. Yeah, but like the logic behind throwing them under the bus doesn't necessarily make sense either. Like, and furthermore, we just going back to this video, this guy was like a skip and a hop from starting to JQ. Like, this guy was like a skip and a hop from JQing.
Where it comes down to rituals. I don't want to say what group, but they do it.
No.
And it's been passed down from hundreds of years of generations. And they do it. They used to do it back then. Why wouldn't they be doing it now?
So can you describe exactly what the ritual is?
I believe it's they take a baby, they torture it.
Oh
put
no.
It in this bowl, right? And they drain the blood.
Oh
and then
no.
Someone starts drinking it. And they get
Okay, but who?
Crazy high off it, probably. They're drinking blood from what's this Lil Nas guy? He's blowing the devil, banging the devil. I mean, like, problem is that we need to prove it. That's the problem. I'm not there yet.
Yikes.
People are going to uprise, and I think a war could be coming. Right now, it's an information, spiritual war, but I think it's going to be a physical war someday.
Yeah, this guy is like literally repeating like Alex Jones. I think like this guy's like literally repeating Alex Jones' talking points. And Jesus Christ, the only thing missing here is him exactly directly saying it's, you know, yeah, the problem is proving it, pesky evidence and all that. Yeah, who needs that? Who needs that? It doesn't necessarily have to be on the, always on land, Anarchist Laboratory. It could be off the coast, with minimal damage to marine life, with minimal disturbance to marine life, off the coast. Especially if you can get them to be more or less like in the deeper end, where there's a lot of wind. They could be very useful. Doesn't even have to take up like part of your land. I don't doubt the efficacy of renewables, just the efficacy of capitalism to instill them universally. That's that's why you would need a governmental program to kind of like build back better, you know, to make this an infrastructure plan, not rely on like private companies. I live in Iowa. What costs you mean the lakes? No, in areas that you don't have access to that, then you would use solar or whatever or other renewable energy that you need. If there is absolutely none available, then at that point, I guess you could say, fine, we use like a nuclear or draw power from the other places that are getting surplus. Because there are areas with renewable energy that are actually providing energy for other areas too, because it's surplus. I believe California, the areas that are renewable for California are delivering a surplus of something. I can't remember the right figures, but California's renewables are surplus and they are being diverted to other areas that need it. Well, yeah, I don't think that's good misinformation works. If you're shutting down nuclear to replace it with coal, yeah, no.
Yeah. And who do you think the two sides are going to be?
Patriots versus the libtards, or the unvaccinated versus the vaccinated.
Listen to me. Even Hillary Clinton
Indeed,
said
nuclear
on
plants are
national
being
TV,
retired early and their output is
and we're going to break that big
yeah,
blast.
and that's bad. Yeah, that's bad. Texas is the fastest growing state for renewables. I think that there's areas that are, and they are also delivering surplus. If I'm not mistaken, it's not like we can't.
In the sky, I said, huh?
I know we have still not shattered that highest and hardest glass ceiling, but someday someone will, and hopefully sooner than we might think right now.
This is just said on national TV. We're in the fucking dome. Yes, this fucking shit is flat. Because they trying to break the ice wall that's on the out layer that's keeping us inside.
You think the Earth is flat?
Do I think I know? You should go read Genesis. Anyway.
Oh, no. Oh, man. I mean, like, this is beyond wild. This is beyond wild. I mean, like, this is like Alex Jones' greatest hits, all in one. This entire, like, 9 minutes and a half is like Alex Jones' greatest hits. Just one after the other, basically.
Why aren't you down here? Why aren't you covering us? You're not gonna cover us because you support the tyranny!
What's up?
And the tyranny!
What's up?
Hey man, what's going on?
What's on your mind?
Not much.
For sure. How do you feel about CNN?
Not a big fan.
What media do you trust?
I trust independent thinkers. I trust critical thinkers. I trust.
Okay, that's not a name.
Blaze Media.
Blaze
The Daily Wire.
Channel 5. What about Channel 5?
Channel 5 what?
D's nuts. Got him.
Are you Welvin the Great?
Hell yeah.
How you been doing, Welvin?
I've been good. I've been solid.
How do you feel about COVID?
Okay. To tell me that like the amount of misinformation and how things like the Daily Wire and the Blaze TV don't result in what's happening. I mean, this guy's literally telling you how he got to the point where he is. This guy literally just told him how he got to the point where he is. Oh, wait. Unironically, it's true. I thought that was a meme. I thought that was a meme. I live near a nuclear power plant. They talked about shutting it down a while back, but if you wanted to keep it running, even subsidize some needed upgrades, I mean, like, it depends. Are they going to shut it down for, like, a coal factory or, like, a natural gas energy? I mean, like, it just depends. Because does the nuclear plant, is the nuclear plant in danger of causing way more damage? It just depends, Dacapollyon. Yeah, it's true. It is true. Here's the cool part about doing renewable right. As the population of Texas grows, the demand of electricity also grows. Texas currently produces and consumes more electricity than our state. Because of its diverse climate and abundance of natural resources, Texas has tremendous potential to generate renewable sources that greatly enhance the diversity of our electric grid. The two main advantages of using renewable energy is that it's clean, and unlimited, which reduces the demand for non-renewable energy such as coal, oil, and natural gas. Several Texas utilities now offer power produced from renewable sources. It generally costs more than power generated from fossil fuel burning plants, but a growing number of consumers are electing to pay a premium for environmentally friendly power. An alternative is to buy green power, which includes electricity generated from relatively clean natural gas burning plants. Either way, choosing these type of plans can contribute to a cleaner Texas. When you choose to buy renewable energy, you are telling your electric company that you want a certain percentage of your power to come from renewable sources. That percentage of power is then produced and placed onto the power grid. The actual electricity that finds its way to your home or business represents a mix of all the generators connected to the grid, but by choosing renewable power, you help increase the amount of renewable energy produced statewide. And here's the point that I was trying to get to. Some people choose to install power generating sources such as solar panels or wind turbines. This is called distributed renewable generation or DRG systems. There may be times when customers produce more power than they can use. This excess power may be sold to an electric company. Selling this excess of power works in different ways depending on where you live. In other words, hey, if you yourself are producing excess of renewable energy for solar or wind or whatever it is that you're doing yourself, you could just reroute that. The talk is they can gut coal plants and install thorium reactors. Well, thorium is a whole other story. They actually have a lot of advantages, like you can put a lot of small skybreakers into an area with one rather than one big windmill. Yeah, it's in former oil barons slapping windmills on their land. Wouldn't count on them to follow regulations. Thorium-based nuclear reactors solve the safety and waste issue, but they're not commercially available yet. The thing that I would support is fusion, but I think that we're not there yet. So what we are there is with other renewables that are faster. Therefore, it could buy us time to get to fusion. You could put a different length of skybreakers in a row and have a plant flute. They actually have a lot of advantages. Yep, exactly. Visiting East Kentucky, it's hard to imagine anything worse than coal. Yikes. If they had to shut down, they were going to replace it with more coal. Yeah, exactly. So it just depends on why they were shutting it down. So yikes. If it's between a nuclear plant and a coal plant, I'm gonna probably choose nuclear, right? As long as all the safety measures are in place, it's fine. It seems like you could, in other words, I would prefer it than more coal plants, obviously. It seems like you could put the skybreakers on building roofs as well. Nice. Imagine like retrofitting all buildings to make sure that they generate solar, and in the areas that they can, they generate wind. But I would say that like you could have a vast amount of renewable energy just with solar by itself, especially if we get the battery systems going. Especially if we get the battery systems going, then we would be on our way. It seems like you could put the skybraders on buildings. Yeah, like anywhere that's possible would be amazing. Anyways, TLDR, we should be moving in the direction of we should be moving to decouple fossil fuels, period, full stop.
Oh, I don't got that.
Did you take the vaccine?
Took the vaccine, so I like it though. It's cool.
So fuck you, LA City Council. Go fuck yourselves. That's how all of us feel.
Ooh, you watching Channel 5? You watching Channel 5? These nuts, hot Gotti.
Oh wait, that's the actual guy.
And the 1% and the beast system.
The beast system.
The beast system. That's like.
Wait, that's the actual guy from the meme. That's the actual guy from the meme. They actually found him.
The 1%.
I'm pretty sure that's the guy.
They worship Lucifer.
All of them?
I mean, if they sell their soul for fame, they're bowing down to Lucifer. That's the beast system.
What about if they like have an independent following that goes viral on YouTube and they have almost as much fame as like a B-list actor?
That doesn't count. That's
what?
independent.
How do you get into the beast system? Like
You sell your soul. You sign a contract.
with who typically?
It's the big industries, you know. So they come to you with a contract, but you're signing it with Lucifer.
So when you sign the paperwork, even if it's in a PDF format on DocuSign.
Hey, I don't know the exact technical details, but I know if you sign the contract, you're signing away your soul.
Who are some celebrities you think are top offenders?
Yeah, they got IRL these nuts.
And I'm not going to name any more names. I'm just pretty much against Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks?
Yeah. His son, I mean, have you seen his son's tattoos? They're pretty Luciferian.
What's his son's name?
Luciferian.
I don't know. I just thought he's like covered in like Illuminati tattoos. Look him up.
Can you show her I meet Lucifer for this contract?
It's dark. Big up to you, Dem.
Say it with passion, bro. Big up the youth, them.
Big up to you, Dem.
Thank you. I'm noticing you have a Bernie Sanders t-shirt on.
Yes.
You like Bernie Sanders?
I like some of his policies. I support Medicare for all, free college, universal child care, universal paid family leave, 5 weeks paid vacation, smaller military budget.
You don't like the...
Okay, you can stop right there. Just stop. We also have Hello Wind Farms with the way they're doing them. They're scattering them in the various corn and bean fields and they're really taking up much real estate. Yeah, again, it just depends on how you do it. It just depends on your area and what's available to you, but it seems to me like between massive solar farms and off the coast for wind farms, and I think in the Midwest you can also do that. Between those, that would be huge. Of course, there are other areas that have other renewable power available. Just depends.
The vaccine.
No.
How come?
We, the little people, are supposed to sacrifice ourselves, be maimed and die in the name of pharmaceutical profits. Don't trust the fucking pharma-funded media.
People need to start talking to their community members.
Okay, well, yes, this is a problem where we've gotten so far off the deep end where it is true that there have been some shenanigans with pharma and things like that, but that doesn't mean that every single instance is a shenanigans, or every single instance has shenanigans with big pharma. Okay, you should probably see what the consensus of all of these studies say, and then make a conclusion from that. Like, I mean, this vaccine has been given around the world to billions of people. There's been an international, international, plethora of data to take from. You don't even have to trust just one person. There's a plethora of international data. Okay. Yeah, I believe that's what Dakapolion was talking about. I will say this, This is a major miscalculation on the left, though, because listen to these folks. They're desperate for some sense of community or bonding. We gotta satisfy that. Yeah, I mean, these folks are just, I would say victims, to be honest. Because that's the weirdest thing. Anywho. Yeah, they're alienated as fuck. We gotta fix that because that is how the Q anti-science shit creeps in and takes them over. Yeah, because they want. Yeah, I understand. They look for answers, and that sometimes leads them there. And they're still out here with podiums and tents preaching about creepy crawlies. Yeah, that's the issue I have right now is the people investing in renewables are the same people who are displaced little millions of generations for their mining goal. Yeah, sure, absolutely. I'm seriously annoyed that I'm only now learning of skybreakers. That kind of stuff deserves big funding. True. By the way, base of PJ is Tina doing all right?
And people that they know, not LeBron James or any other a media member or a celebrity.
I'm running for Congress. I'm a congressional candidate, and one of the things that pisses me off about our government, we have all these officials, they have no idea what it's like to be out here. No idea. Ted Lieu, the guy I'm running against, he would never come out here and just have a conversation.
Yeah, so that's a problem. These people are literally running for Congress, and some of them are gaining steam. However, I think Base of PJ pointed out that the alienation, which is caused because of the system that we're in, is kind of perpetuating this type of pathways to leading to people think this way. And, he mentioned, like, Ted Lieu would never come and visit people, would never visit any one of us down here on the ground. And, like, I mean, you gotta deliver. I'm sorry. These are your constituents, and you gotta deliver. You gotta make sure that if you are a representative, no matter if you're a representative, you are there to deliver the best policies for the people. You're not there to represent your donors. You're not there to represent your own personal interests. You're supposed to be, it's in your title, you're supposed to be representing your constituents. So do what you need to do to make sure that this country is better. That's it. There's some rough patches in the IRL stuff, but she's got a vacation coming up soon. Okay, that's good. I just got like those vibes, you know. Gotta make sure you take care of your mental health, you know. Laura Loomer might win in 2022. Yikes. Let me ask though, how many pre-COVID town halls has Ted done that these clowns choose not to go to? True, that's another good point. Yeah?
I feel bad when I see that.
How come?
Because it's so ridiculous, you know. Those people will finish in a hospital, you know. A bunch of uneducated people and Trumpists. Well, just look at the numbers. If you're not vaccinated, you will end up in an hospital, you know, and you eventually die. You know, it's just ridiculous, you know.
Is there a lot of people like this in France?
There's some, you know, but I think not as bad as here. Yeah.
Why do you think it's worse here?
I would say the government has much more power in France to enforce rules and mandates compared to here, where it's very decentralized. And you have all those states like basically would not enforce the rules to make us safer, you know.
So do you think there should be tighter restrictions?
Yep, sure. Yeah.
And more mandates?
Yep.
Do you see that as conflicting with constitutional rights?
No.
Interesting. Like, I can complain about my representative all I want, but if I don't email or go to a town hall, then mean they don't listen when I don't speak up. Is just, yeah, sure, like, that's a good point. So I think that obviously, as folks who want to make a difference, your local elections are incredibly important. Show up to your town meetings. Show up to your local elections, city council meetings, things like this that actually have that you personally will be invested in because that's your community, and organize people around issues, right? That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Yes, I write to my reps, but they all respond with the same standardized email and nothing changes. But hey, you're doing what you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, and I would say get more people to do that as well. Dacapolion. Important phone numbers to the White House switchboard and Capitol switchboard. True. Most Q seems interested in being entertained by their movement than any praxis. Yeah, well, I'm tired of our society being dominated by the jocks and rehenges and nerds. FDA okays mixing and matching COVID-19 vaccines, backs Moderna and J&J boosters. U.S. regulators on Wednesday signed off on extending COVID boosters to Americans who got the Moderna or J&J, and said anyone eligible for an extra dose can get a brand differently from the one they received initially. Apparently, and this has been studied before, but apparently the data is more concrete now to indicate that if you mix and match, depending on which ones, you can actually get a boost, a better response, apparently. At the very least, it's okay. It's okay to mix and match. Yeah, base of PJ. I always go to this story when you're talking about things like that. My brother, who is a climate, who is a climate researcher, went to one of these town halls. Unfortunately, the town hall is for leaderships in Florida. At the time, it was Rick Scott who was governor, and Marco Rubio was there too. And yeah, he went up there as a at the time he was like pretty much like just like a junior researcher, and he was trying to present information regarding the damage and the problems with the Florida ecosystem, the wetlands, the mangroves, and algae, and the health of the Bay Area ecosystem. And they unironically blew him off. They just didn't care. He said it was like talking to comic book supervillains. Comic book supervillains. Drip check. I don't know what that means. Exactly, Kyle. Exactly. He literally said it was like talking to comic book supervillains. Granted, again, this was a hall. I forget honestly if it was a city hall or a town hall. But, yeah, he went. He went. It means he wants to check out your outfit? Oh, what's wrong with my outfit? It's literally a long sleeve hoodie. I don't get it. The latest move would expand. The FDA's decision marks a big step towards expanding the U.S. booster campaign, which began with an extra dose of Pfizer last month. But before more people roll up their sleeves, the CDC will consult an expert panel on Thursday before finalizing official recommendations for who should get boosters and when. The latest moves would expand by tens of millions of number of Americans eligible for boosters and formally allow mixing and matching of shots, making it simpler to get another dose, especially for people who had a side effect from one brand but still want the proven protection of vaccination. Specifically, the FDA authorized a third Moderna shot for seniors and other high-risk COVID, others at high risk from COVID because of their health problems, jobs, or living conditions 6 months after getting their last shot. One big change, Moderna's booster will be half the dose that's used for the first 2 shots based on company data showing that it was plenty to rev up immunity again. For J&J, the FDA said all recipients, no matter what their age, could get a second dose at least 2 months following their initial vaccination. The FDA rulings differ because the vaccines are made differently, with different dosing schedules, and the J&J vaccine has consistently shown a lower level of effectiveness than either of the 2-shot Moderna and Pfizer vaccines. As for mixing and matching, the FDA says it's okay to use any brand of boosters, regardless of which vaccination people got first. The interchangeability of the shot is expected to speed up the booster campaign, particularly in nursing homes and other institutional settings where residents have received different shots over time. Cool. FDA's acting commissioner, Dr. Janet Woodcock, said the agency wanted to make its booster guidance as flexible as possible, given that many people don't remember which brand they received. In other cases, some people may want to try a different vaccine if they previously experienced common side effects like muscle aches or chills. Wait, how do you not know? It's in your card. How do you not know? That's kind of weird. It's literally written on your thingy, on your vaccination card. I try to stay hip with the youth these days. Nice. Hey, big dangly things. Sorry, I didn't say hi to you. Vaccines help you. It's good. Take the vaccine.
I recommend take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccine.
I'm celebrating. I'm invited for my COVID booster and a flu jab. I heard that if you have a recent flu shot plus this one, it gives some type of wait, no, I'm not going to say anything. All right, that's it. Still, regulators said it's most likely people stick with the same vaccine brand. The decision was based on preliminary results from the government study of different boosters. Combinations showed that an extra dose of any type revs up levels of virus antibodies. The study also shows recipients of the single dose J&J had a far bigger response if they got the full-strength Moderna booster or Pfizer booster rather than the second J&J. Oh yeah, there we go. Cool. The vaccine plus flu shot gave me big booba. Like big immune system booba? Right, crochets. That is consistent with findings on hybrid immunity. Yep. This was actually being discussed earlier, but now more and more data is making that concrete, you know? There's now lead contamination in Hamtramck, Michigan water. Yikes, Tandera. Yikes. So, just a real quick detour. Yesterday we went over, apparently, there is further contamination in Flint, Michigan, if I'm correct, and now there's reports, Tandera, thank you for bringing that, in Hamtramck, Michigan. Hey, right after I get vaxxed, I got a big girlfriend, so I'm happy with my comps. Alright, Chad. That is messed up, Tendera. That is messed up. It seems like Michigan just can't catch a break. The decision was based on preliminary results from government study of different booster combinations that showed an extra dose of any type revs up a level of virus-fighting antibodies. That study also shows recipients of the single-dose J&J had a far bigger response if they got a full-strength Moderna booster or a Pfizer booster rather than the second J&J shot. The study didn't test the half-dose Moderna booster. Health authorities stressed that the priority is still getting the first shots to about 65 million eligible Americans who remain unvaccinated, but the booster campaign is meant to shore up protection against the virus amid signs that the vaccine effectiveness is waning against mild infections, even though all three brands continue to protect against hospitalization and death. Today, the current available data suggests waning immunity in some populations of fully vaccinated people. The availability of these authorized boosters is important to continued protection against COVID-19 disease. The Moderna booster decision essentially matches FDA's ruling. The high-risk groups are eligible for the Pfizer vaccine, which is made of the same technology. The FDA recommends that everyone who's gotten the single J&J to get a booster since it has consistently shown lower protection than its two-shot rivals. The several independent FDA advisors who backed the booster decision suggested that J&J should have originally been designed to require 2 doses. Yeah. Experts continue. So it seems to me like consistently it shows that we've been very careful. We've been very careful. We've been very thorough and rigorous, and in some cases a little bit conservative when it comes to this, and we've had seemingly just great results in terms of how efficacious these vaccines have turned out to be. Flint, Benton Harbor, Hamtramck, but I'm sure there's more, and we'll only find out later. That's so effed, Thandera. Jesus. Which land type? Is this an MTG reference? Is this a Magic the Gathering reference? Because I'm of the opinion that the only thing that matters is how many zero-cost artifacts you can play at any given time. And then you turn them sideways. That's it. That's my Magic the Gathering take. The only thing that matters is as many artifacts, as many zero-cost artifacts that you can play in the field, and then turn them sideways. But I am playing New World. Yeah, I heard that it was pretty good. I think Chai Bureaucrat was saying to get into it. I need to download that. They have dropped the patent. Oh, have they dropped the patent on vaccines and given it to struggling countries? No, not to my knowledge. Jesus. I had a deck that focused on that not more than a decade ago. Yeah, I still have those. I have new versions of it. Affinity deck. Somewhere. In there, somewhere. Experts continue to debate the rationale of the booster campaign. Some warn that the US government hasn't articulated the goals of the boosters, given that the shots continue to head off the worst effects of COVID, and wonder if the aim is to tamp down on the virus spread by curbing, at least temporarily, milder infections. FDA's top vaccine officials suggested regulators would move quickly to expand boosters to lower age groups, such as people in their 40s and 50s, if warranted. We are watching this very closely and will take action as appropriate to make sure that the maximum protection is provided to the population. In August, the Biden administration announced plans for across-the-board booster campaign aimed at all U.S. adults, but outside experts have repeatedly argued against such a sweeping effort. On Thursday, an influential panel convened by the CDC is expected to offer more specifics on who should get a boosters and when. Who should get boosters and when. The recommendations are subject to approval by the CDC director. The vast majority of the nearly 190 million who are Americans who are fully vaccinated against COVID have received the Pfizer or Moderna options, while about 15 million having received the J&J. Cool. We still need to reach that 80% plus, I believe. My friend tried to get me back into playing, and I couldn't make heads or tails of them. Sometimes it is difficult to get back into it. You just have to like sit there, and especially with new mechanics that have no, I don't know. Some of the decisions like to make like these new sets about like TV shows and things like that. It's weird. That's not every country needs it, or they will mutate. Yeah, well, that's the neat part. Then I don't think they care. I unironically don't think they care. Maybe, but there are efforts of other countries who are aiding other countries to get vaccines. Just not, we could be doing more, is what I'm saying. We are sending, I think, all excess vaccines out. We as the United States are sending out excess vaccines, I think, to my knowledge. But yeah, that's about as much as we're doing. Oh, we got a dab redemption. What? That was a pretty good one, I think. Yeah, if we have the ability, we should, because like this always like roundabout affects us anyways. I mean, like, what's the impetus to allowing this thing to continue, right? I don't know. Just seems strange. If you have the ability and you have the means, you should absolutely be helping out. But I think that all the United States is doing is like sending in any excess out. I don't know to which countries or what the parameters are, but I know that I think Joe Biden said that he was going to do a proposal or plan to send out X amount of doses to the world or something like that. I forget, to be honest. I honestly don't remember. Hold on. Biden on international vaccine distribution would be that. We've already shared with Canada and Mexico last month. I announced by the end of June. The U.S. has committed to do $4 billion to support COVAX and have launched partnerships to boost global capacity to manufacture more vaccines. My administration supports efforts to temporarily waive intellectual property rights for COVID vaccines because over time we need more companies to producing life-saving drugs. Oh, wait. Hold on. Mind you, this is just this is just the White House statement. But nonetheless, today we're providing more details on how we will allocate the first 25 million. Although this is the more important part here. Already the U.S. has committed $4 billion to support COVAX, and we have launched partnerships to boost global capacity to manufacture more vaccines. My administration supports efforts to temporarily waive intellectual property rights for COVID vaccines because over time we need more companies producing life-saving doses of proven vaccines that are shared equitably. We have already shared more than 4 million doses of vaccines with Canada and Mexico last month. I announced that by the end of June, the U.S. will share 80 million doses of our vaccine supply with the world. Today, we're providing more details on how we will allocate the first 25 million of those vaccines to lay the groundwork for increased global coverage and to address real and potential surges, high burdens of disease, and needs of the most vulnerable countries. At least 75% of these doses, nearly 19 million, will be shared through COVAX, including approximately 6 million doses for Latin America and the Caribbean, 7 million for the South and Southeast Asia, approximately 5 million for Africa, working in coordination with the African Union and the Africa Center's CDC, the Africa CDC. The remaining doses, just over 6 million, was shared directly with countries experiencing surges, those in crisis, and other partners and neighbors, including Canada, Mexico, India, and the Republic of Korea. We are sharing these doses not to secure favors or extract concessions. We are sharing these vaccines to save lives and to lead the world in bringing an end to the pandemic with the power of our example and with our values. We will continue to follow the science and work closely in cooperation with our democratic partners to coordinate a multilateral effort, including through the G7. So in other words, it seems like they're doing something fair. they're temporarily waiving intellectual property rights. So I don't know. A malarkey bidet. It's really hard to give a shit about what Biden says because it's mostly bullshit. True. Well, at least at least for the most part, it has been very, very underwhelming, very frustrating. And yeah, he has walked back a lot of stuff. Or not delivered. Yeah, it's like a horror movie about a world-ending pandemic with evil villains. Each country should be producing and distributing. Yeah, but not each country can, or not each country has the manufacturing capabilities. So therefore, I think that that's where we should, and others should step in and help, especially if they can't get the materials to make it. Biden has very little help from Congress. Well, you're not wrong. But he himself also needs to put the he himself also needs to put his foot down. Oh yeah, I agree, Kalo. I agree. But this is where we're at. So originally I thought that he wasn't going to suspend any IP laws, and I think that people were mad enough about it because in June, which is 4 months ago, he's temporarily suspending any IP property rights for these vaccines, which I think is fine. Just wish we could have done this, as our opening salvo. America would never do something shady for more power. Anyways, yeah, so I was half right, so half fake news. Only half fake news. So I only get 2 Pinocchios instead of 4, right? Is it 4 Pinocchios? Is it 4 the maximum Pinocchios that you can get? Oh, I can have 7? Alright, so 3.5 Pinocchios for me. 3.5 Pinocchios for me. To have 10 or 17. Alright. I'll say the maximum is 10, so for me, that's 5 Pinocchios for me. Because I was half right. Originally, there was no suspension of intellectual property rights, but as of June, apparently there is a temporary stop on that. However many you want, the rules don't matter. True. True. I'll give myself 5 Pinocchios. All right, 5 out of 10. Nice meme. Good job. 5 out of 10 Pinocchios. I'll take it. Thank you. Oh no. Okay, TLDR, it looks like the FDA is poised to be advising that you can actually mix and match based on data that has been coming in. I personally think that there was already a lot of initial data about mixing and matching. I think there's other countries that have already tried this and have seen a lot of success, and we're just catching up and basically confirming this information. So I think that this is great because you don't need to worry, and in some cases you might even get an added boost of immunity for mixing and matching. So hey, it makes it easier. I think especially if it's necessary, I think it makes it easier. Yes, I know that. Thank you. Thank you. I always found cookies weird. Why would they name things like that cookies? Can somebody explain to me the oranges of the word cookies in terms of like site data? Can somebody explain to me the oranges of the reason why they use the word cookies for site data? Is it because they're just like little bite size? Because they're little bite size of information, you know, like bytes, like BYTES? Is sourcing here? Usually if you say his name 3 times, he'll appear. Oh, that's right. Al Gore and the Cookie Monster invented the internet. Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes that makes sense. Yeah. Because they're delicious and everybody loves them. True. We'll see if he appears. Ex-President Trump announces social media site. Another one. That's right. The launch of a platform dubbed Truth. Oh, hey, folks, the memes write themselves. So Truth comes after months of Trump was banned from most major social media sites. Former President Trump has announced the launch of his own social media platform 9 months after being expelled from all major sites for his role allegedly incited violence at the Capitol following his election defeat last year. In a statement on Wednesday, Trump said the launch of Trump Media and Technology Group, TMTG, Jesus, and its quote, Truth Social app is meant to remedy his suspension from sites of Facebook, Twitter in the wake of January 6th storming of the Capitol by its supporters as legislators met to certify the victory of the Republican Democratic rival. What? Why is... Yes, okay. We live in a world where the Taliban has a huge presence on Twitter, yet your favorite American president has been silenced as he's speaking in a national news release. As he's on a national platform. Oh, I'm sorry, Bread Crochet. Hold on, folks. As per Wiki, the term cookie was coined by web programmer Lou Montulli. It's derived from the term magic cookie, which is a packet of data. Oh, a packet of data program which receives and sends back unchanged, used by Unix programmers. Gotcha. Biden will do a speech and say something that everyone should have already, the bare minimum, and the Congress will spend shaking nothing, and then the media will cover it as if it's the biggest ask in the world. True. Because thousands of your physical truth needs to be undone. Yeah. I apologize, Brad Crochet. Hold on, folks. Give me 1 second. There we go. But yeah, exactly. Like, that's the thing. Like, oh man, it's so frustrating. It's unbelievably frustrating. Like, I'm unironically giga triggered by the way the Democratic Party is behaving, in terms of like how to get things going, especially when it comes back to the Build Back Better plan and things like that, because oh man, I'm like unironically giga triggered about the way like this is turning out. Why apologies? Because I didn't give you a shout out earlier. Yeah, so just to avoid getting too giga triggered, TLDR is I've been molding for the past like week and a half about this. I'm so excited to send out my first Truth on Truth. Wait, the Truth on Truth? Oh no. Social very soon. The TMTG was founded with the mission to give a voice to all. I'm excited to soon begin sharing my thoughts on Truth Social and to fight back against big tech. Okay. Okay. The social network is set for a preliminary rollout in November and a full rollout in the first quarter of 2022, according to the release. It is being created through a new company formed by the merger of TMTG and a special acquisition company. The social media platform is the first to have 3 stages in company plans, followed by a subscription video-on-demand service called TMTG Plus that will feature entertainment, news, and podcasts, and an entry to cloud computing space. Trump, who was impeached by the House for his role in his egging on the rioters in January 6th, but later acquitted, in the then Republican-controlled Senate, has been vocal about his desire to launch his own media platform. Yeah. An earlier effort to launch a blog on his existing website was abandoned after the page drew dismal views. I suspect that something similar will be happening with this platform. But nonetheless, nice meme. I thought it was funny. I don't think this is gonna go much. A trueception. Yeah, Nightbot is going full doomer. It's trying to emulate myself. Wasn't he impeached by the House twice? Yeah, they were just speaking about the impeachment regarding the January 6th. Yeah, exactly, Alio. Yeah, he's so silenced that he gets national interviews and goes on like national cable news and things like that. So yeah, okay. House Sparks also covered out 700 pounds combined. Oh yeah, but nah, I don't like that framing. Nah, thinking Sabercat. Nah, that's not cool. That's not cool. He also never won the popular vote. True. Neither times, actually. Neither times. Weary Dems not keen on another party line spending bill before midterms. It just keeps getting better, folks. With control of Congress came a serious treat for Democrats, a chance for big spending plans without the need of GOP voters. Wait. The chance for big spending plans. You mean the chance for actually deploying legislation that would do good? Like, the framing of this is just so incredibly harsh. Yeah, it's gonna, in order to improve the country, in order to have a lot of these important plans that we need, you're gonna have to spend. Everything that the government does is spending. Like, never is this like a framing of like how the military budget is done, right? They never frame the military budget votes, like when they talk about like how much it's gonna cost. They're never like, this is a chance for a new big spending plan. No, they say like, yeah, military budget, $700 and something billion. Okay, and that's it. And that's it. The first bite at the treat nearly yielded $2 trillion in COVID aid, but the second's been far less appetizing. But even as Democrats struggle to unify on their second party line push, a social spending blueprint that tackles everything from climate change to paid leave, some of them still want to take a third bite. For those Democrats, a chance to squeeze Republicans on popular issues like healthcare ahead of the midterms is too good to pass up. Despite the laborious budget maneuver they'd have to employ yet again. It's not that laborious. The budget reconciliation bill is on you. That's you. That's your prerogative. It is just you. I don't get it. House Budget Chair John Yarmouth, who recently announced his retirement, sees a savvy political opportunity for a third reconciliation bill. He's even spoken with Speaker Nancy Pelosi about using the budget tactic next year, arguing that it would be good policy and political strategy before the election, and Pelosi hasn't ruled that out. Force Republicans to vote like Medicare expansion, child care, and senior care, depending on what we decide not to put in this package. I don't see what the downside is in an election year because we're trying to do things that are really popular. Ooh, I'm trying to speed run this way too fast. I almost, Mallhopper, thank you so much for the follow. Sorry about that. So, yeah, no kidding. I don't see where the downside is in an election year because we've been trying to do things that are really popular. Really? The ball is in your court. Not particularly here. The House seems a little bit more poised than the Senate. But the ball is in the Democratic Party's court. You're hearing that from people on my side of the aisle, said John Tester. John Tester said of including additional party priorities in the third reconciliation bill. I haven't even thought of that. One thing at a time, said Brian Schatz. When asked about a third go-round with time-consuming exercise that is budget reconciliation, he added that nobody's really thinking about that because we've had to land this airplane first. Democrats' to-do list the next month includes wrapping up Biden's social spending package, House passage of a bipartisan infrastructure bill, and finding a long-term solution to debt ceilings, to the debt ceiling, as well as government funding before December 3rd. The social safety net plan has been bedeviled the party for months as leaders slashed the party to satisfy centrist conservatives, not centrists, while trying to placate progressives who always wanted to go bigger. They already did. That was it. That was the compromise. Like, I don't get it. That was the compromise. Okay? Remember, the original proposal for this bill was about $6 trillion, wasn't it? That was already the compromise. Mind you, again, this is over a period of 10 years. The military budget cost us about $9 trillion in that time frame. $6 trillion. I know numbers are hard to some of these folks, but 6 trillion is less. I know. Less than 9 trillion. My point is, there are places we can cut. There are taxes we can raise. There are no excuses, is my point. Liar. Amid that back and forth, some Democrats have contended. Jesus, I'm sorry. I'm just like really annoyed at this. Have contended to whatever gets tossed up in the wind could wind up in a third-party line spending plan that passes under reconciliation next year. And Biden has suggested that Democrats will find a way to satisfy their multi-trillion-dollar spending aspirations over 10 years. Even though the price tag for his current reconciliation is set to shrink significantly, while the Senate Budget Committee Democrats agreed on a $3.5 trillion top line months ago. Likely price tag is now closer to $2 trillion. If Democrats decide to push past their weariness and try for a third reconciliation package, they have some precedent for success. The party used this tactic this spring for a pandemic relief bill that boosted popular programs aimed at buoying families and the middle class. Yeah, because when you take care of the working class and the working class and families and kids, and provides crucial social safety net programs, even. It turns out they're incredibly popular because they actually work. It will drop below 1 trillion. Roads and bridges will be great, though. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like par for the course, but like, there are incredibly important aspects to the Build Back Better plan that are necessary. And it's just getting brushed by the wayside, and it's incredibly frustrating because we could do better. Roads and bridges are like just kind of like the norm. That should be done already. That should have been already done. This isn't like a Republican or Democratic thing. Our infrastructure is crumbling. That's like besides the point, right? Stop lying to your audiences. Yeah, I know. Sorry, guys. Fake news. Did you see Kamala at Lake Mead? No? Is there... Oh, Jesus. Is there... Oh, please. Is it as cringe? Is it as cringe as I'm imagining it in my head? If so, please post a link. Yes, every single aspect was important. Exactly. Roads and bridges should have ever needed this. Should never need this. Right. It's like a it was like, it should be kind of like baked in, right, to like our spending, right? I mean, our country kind of depends on having like infrastructure. I don't get it. This is all like just beyond asinine to me. It's all backwards, folks. It's all backwards to me. It's almost as cringe as do not. Oh no. Oh no. Please post a link. No. Biden's speech yesterday. What is America doing? Yeah, good question. Good question. What is America doing? Very good question. You know, every time people post that, Kalo, all I see are donuts. I'm sorry. All I see are donuts. Cool. Let's see. Cringe fest.
Why are dental
Whoa.
lobbying to?
You see, YouTube can never get like a hang of what exactly like the ads to serve me, so they'll post things like dental ads. Like, okay. The Dems could literally pass a huge historic bill right now to fit the historic times and win future elections, but nah. True.
We are going to get started this afternoon with the VP in LV. Vice President Kamala Harris is in the Valley today talking about her dwindling water supply. Vice President Harris was greeted by Governor Sisolak when she came off the plane, and then she headed right to Lake Mead. Harris took a tour of the area before speaking about the impact the water shortage is having on our farmers, our food supply, and the economy. She says it is the direct result of climate change.
Okay.
Every living thing depends and requires on water.
No way. No way. Folks, breaking news. Water is important. Water is important.
Its existence and its prevalence. And what we are seeing in this nation and around the world is that this climate crisis, look at where the water has receded over just the last 20 years.
I mean,
that space is larger than the height of the Statue of Liberty in just the last 20 years. This is where we're headed. So let's take on a sense of responsibility with a sense of urgency and do something about this in a way that is about satisfying basic needs, which in this case right here is 25 million people who are served by what happens at Lake
Thank you for the
Mead.
biddies. I don't
Vice
know what that
President
means,
Harris
though.
is making a case for the Build Back Better agenda and the bipartisan infrastructure deal. And coming up all new at 5 tonight.
Okay. Exactly. I am lost in a giant paper soul of the world. I don't know what that means, but I do appreciate the biddies. It really highlights how effed we are. True! Yeah, like, this is unbelievable to me. Hey, you know where she needs to be right now? She needs to be in West Virginia, and she needs to be in Arizona every day. There needs to be exactly what the Working Families Party is doing, along with other organizations like Sierra, the Sierra Club, and other organizations on the ground who are running constant ads right now in West Virginia. I think they dedicated like millions to attempt to bring awareness to this thing and put pressure on Joe Manchin. Kamala Harris right now needs to be in West Virginia and in Arizona, okay? And she needs to illustrate, if she was gonna film this here, she needs to be like, yeah, and Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema, blah 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 blah, right? Like, water is from China, true. For your information, I'm a West Virginia resident. Yeah, you need to be calling Senator Manchin's office every day, organize petitions, and get people aware, if you can, to understand what the issue is here and why Joe Manchin is currently effing West Virginia. And to be fair, and to be clear, the all these coal jobs and all of that are being kind of wedged as a way of like, oh well, you know, West Virginia is like, actually their jobs are not really that much there. And furthermore, why continue to prop up a dying industry when you can propel yourself into the future using those workers too? I mean, I'm sure they'd love to work in building the future.
Tonight, what local Republicans say about the Democratic plan for local resources. We are going to get started this afternoon with the VP.
Oof. This is so frustrating. The West Virginia has the highest poverty rate, I think, per capita, Thandera. I think per capita, you're right. I think per capita, you're right. Many people here are just incredibly Stubborn and prideful, they will vote against their own interest. Yeah, but like, I think that the best thing that we can do is attempt to reach out and attempt to put pressure specifically on Joe Manchin. And Democrats would have to start if they want to use reconciliation to pass major legislation without GOP votes for the third time in 2 years by including instructions in the budget resolution for fiscal 2023. Should they go that route, it's not clear whether they tried to include any policy provisions they're now having to cut from their social spending plan. A number of provisions originally drafted as part of the current spending bill are in jeopardy as Democrats look to carve out an inter-party agreement on broader legislation. That includes a massive expansion of health coverage for seniors, clean electricity incentives, which are off the table, key tax policies, and more. Yarmouth said that I don't think you want to choose and say which ones you want to go in next year during a possible third reconciliation debate. I think you want to fight everything this year and everything we can get. Yes, I agree. Silver Knight Dragon subscription, subbing with a tier 1 sub. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. This is so frustrating. You have your one shot, and this is it. This is do or die right here. Good morning. Howdy, howdy. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate that. Oh yeah. And in case anybody needed extra convincing about like what this means and what the Build Back Better would in its true form would provide, the miners union backs shift from coal in exchange for jobs. Yeah, it turns out that the problem isn't the coal. The problem is they want to make sure that they have jobs. And you know what? This can be a method for doing so. The nation's largest coal miner union said it would accept President Joe Biden's plan to move away from coal and other fossil fuels in exchange for true energy transition that includes thousands of jobs in renewable energy and spending on technology to make coal cleaner. I don't know about making coal cleaner, but whatever. The nation's largest coal miner union said it would accept President Joe Biden's plan to move away from coal and other fossil fuels in exchange for true energy transition that includes thousands of jobs in renewable energy and spending on technology to make coal cleaner. Yeah, here's the end of the deal. Here's the end of the at the end of the day, here's what they care about. I think we need to provide a future for those people and a future for anybody that loses their job because of a transition in this country, regardless of its coal, gas, or other industry for that matter. Yeah, exactly. Just make sure, which I think is the core of moving to green energy, is so that you can say to these folks, look, there's jobs for you. There are jobs for you. There are economic opportunities for you. That's how you sell it to these folks. Good morning. Happy to support the chillest place to be. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thorium-based Thorium Reactor is a real thing. They could give coal miners plenty of work because the same mines have all the thorium. I mean, sure. Coffee sponsorship. It is not a sponsorship. It is more of a how do I say this? It's more of a affiliation. Yeah, I meant commercial thing. They're definitely real. Sorry, China does build them on a small scale. Oh, I see what you mean. Anyways, the TLDR is that, yeah, these are valid concerns. So you know what? Give them jobs. That's it. The Build Back Better plan had provisions to deal with this. But pursuing additional victories through that filibuster workaround could prove tougher, and even tougher in an election year when numbers of moderates are already squeamish about the spending over 10 years. And Democratic majorities in both chambers are on a knife's edge. Republican leaders are already using Democrats' fiscal wish list as a political cudgel and hoping to take back control of the House and make a play for the Senate majority as well. The GOP offensive ahead of the midterms has been compounded as standoff over the nation's borrowing limit. Republican leaders are refused to help lift a cap on the nation's credit, while Democrats pursue a party line spending plan until Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, until Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell recently offered a 2-month extension that pushed the debt cliff to early December. The Senate Finance Chair, Ron Wyden, who's tasked with drafting some of the biggest revenue generators for this year's social spending bill, said he's not entertaining the possibility of punting any of his priorities to a third package. I'm not going to try to speculate on what members admittedly say is speculation. We've got our handfuls with what we're dealing with right now. Yeah, sure. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I'm sure yesterday, and I'm sure it's just gonna get smaller and smaller and smaller until a lot of the important things that were necessary are gutted from the Build Back Better plan. Like, at this point, like, just find another name for it. At this point, find another name for it. It's not building back better. It's not building anything at all. Unbelievable. In an abrupt change, the White House on Wednesday floated new plans to pay for parts of the President Joe Biden's $2 trillion social services and climate change package, shelving a proposed big increase on corporate tax, though also adding a new billionaire's tax on investment gains of the very richest Americans. That reversal came as Biden returned to his hometown of Scranton, Pennsylvania, to highlight the middle-class values he says that are at the heart of the package the Democrats are racing to finish. Biden faces resistance from key holdouts, including Madam President Kyrsten Sinema, who has not been on board with their party's plan to undo Trump-era tax breaks and help pay for it. Okay. This has been declared dead on arrival from the moment I introduced it, but I think we're going to surprise them because I think people are beginning to figure out what's at stake. You mean like the American people? The American people already find this pretty solid. The American people are pretty in favor of a lot of these proposals, for the most part, I think. And it's just not materializing. I've been waiting for somebody to take that step because 3 major reasons: they consume nuclear waste, they waste heat. The waste heat from them can be used to desalinate water, and then impurities can be used to advance medicine by 2 generations. Wow. Build Back Better, just another marketing slogan, meaningless. Well, it turns out that is more true than not, real Dan Cody. That is materializing to be more true than not. I mean, it's a good slogan. It's supposed to be encouraging. Build Back Better. Yeah, we do need to build back better. We need to build infrastructure and build this green energy infrastructure better. Turned out, it has yet to materialize itself. Negotiations between the White House and Democratic leaders on Capitol Hill are underway, and what's now a scaled-back package would still be an unprecedented federal effort to expend social services for millions and confronting the rising threat of climate change. Yeah, by stripping out the biggest parts of it. I don't get it. That's not a fair assessment of this. It's coupled with a separate $1 trillion bill to update roads and bridges. Biden and his Democratic Party have given themselves a deadline to seal agreement after laboring to bridge this once sweeping $3.5 trillion vision preferred by progressives with a more limited focus that can win over party conservatives. He has no Democratic votes to spare for the passage as the closely divided Congress and other leaders want agreement by week's end. The newly proposed tax provisions, though, are likely to sour progressives and even some conservative Democrats who have long campaigned on undoing the 2017 GOP tax cuts that many believe unduly reward the wealthy. Well, it's not many believe. It has been shown, I think, costing the federal government untold sums in lost revenue at a time for gaping income inequality. Yeah, and what do you think perpetuates that? It's literally temperature gradient, the bigger gradient, the more energy you can extract. No idea how the science goes behind that. I'm sorry. Bernie was on Twitch last night about the bills. I should have been there. I did not know. Yeah, of course. Administration officials spoke with congressional leaders on the tax alternatives, according to a person familiar with the private talks and granted anonymity to discuss them. Those changes may be needed to win over Sinema, Madam President Sinema, who had objected to plans to raise rates on corporations and wealthy individuals earning more than $400,000 a year. This is so frustrating. The person and several others. It wasn't even like, first of all, this was just going back to before the Trump era tax cuts. That's it. That's the massive, that's the big change. That's literally it. That's literally it. The proposal for taxes would just be to revert back to the Obama era tax rates for individuals over $400,000 and more. Literally it. Holy yikes. This is so frustrating. As it stands, corporate tax rate is 21%, and Democrats want to lift it to 26.5% for companies earning more than $5 million a year. The top individual income tax rate would rise from 37 to 39. Oh no! For those earning more than $400,000 or $450,000 for married couples. Under the changes being floated, the 21% corporate tax rate would stay the same. However, the revisions wouldn't be positive for big companies and the wealthy. The White House is reviving the idea of a minimum corporate tax rate similar to the 15% rate Biden had proposed earlier this year. That's even for companies that say they had no taxable income, a frequent target of Biden who complains that they pay 0 to 10 taxes. There'd be a new billionaire tax modeled on legislation by Senator Ron Wyden, the chairman of the Finance Committee, which proposed taxing stock gains of those with $1 billion in assets fewer than 1,000 Americans. Sinema has not publicly stated her position and did not respond for a request for comment. Another key Democrat finally, we got some accurate representation. Jesus Christ. Another Democrat, conservative Joe Manchin of West Virginia, said he preferred a 25% corporate tax rate. He's been withholding his support for the bill with additional objectives, provisions of climate change and social services. Of course. On the call with the administration, White House, Wyden said the stressed importance of putting an end to America's two-tax code and finally showing working people in this country that the wealthiest Americans are going to pay taxes just like they do. The possible shift comes as Democrats appear to have made progress uniting themselves, ready to abandon what had been a loftier package in favor of a smaller, more workable proposal that the party can unite around. Yeah, at what cost, though? At what cost? This is unbelievable to me. In the mix, at least $500 billion to battle climate change, $350 for childcare subsidies, free pre-kindergarten, new federal program for at least 4 weeks of paid family leave, 1 year extension of the $300 monthly tax credits are put in place that were put in place during the COVID crisis, and funding for healthcare provided through the ACA, likely to be eliminated or shaved back plans for tuition-free college, so you can X that out of the promises. Path to permanent legal status for certain immigrants, you can yeet that out of the campaign promises. A clean energy plan that was a centerpiece of Biden's strategy for fighting climate change, you can yeet that out of the campaign promises. Nothing is decided until everything is decided, said Pramila Jayapal, the leader of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, after a morning meeting with House Democrats. We're just trying to get it done. Yeah, like, again, this wasn't like a this wasn't like the progressive plan. The progressive plan was much more involved. This was the compromise, and this was the original plan of the Biden administration. Democrats are going anxious, have little to show for voters. Yeah, no kidding. Despite their campaign promises that have trouble explaining what they're trying to do with the massive package made up of so many different proposals. Alright, I'm done. This is giga triggering. So an interesting kind of like anecdotal story that was done. I think this guy was in Florida, I believe. Joey Holtz recalled the first hearing complaints about labor shortage last year when he called to donate convalescent plasma at a clinic near Fort Myers, Florida. Yeah, he's a Florida man. The guy went on this rant how he can't find help and can't keep anybody in his medical facility because they all quit over stimulus checks. Yeah, okay. Your medical professionals quit over 1,200 checks. That's weird. True, that's the first thing that I would ask too. Over the next several months, the 37-year-old watched as growing chorus of businesses said they couldn't find anyone to hire because of government stimulus money. It was so ubiquitous that he joined a No One Wants to Work Facebook group where users made memes deriding the frustrated employers. He said he found it hard to believe that government money was keeping people out of labor force, especially when the end of expanded federal unemployment benefits did not seem to trigger a surge in employment. All expanded benefits ended in September, but 26 states, including Florida, ended them early in June and July. Yeah. If this extra money that everyone's supposedly living off is stopped in June and it's not September, obviously that's not what's stopping them. Workers have said companies struggling to hire aren't offering competitive pay and benefits. Yeah. No kidding. You know, what seems interesting to me is our taxes pay for power plants and then they charge us for the energy it produces. Huh. Well, that's because they're privately owned. That's because they're privately owned. And then they use that money to build bombs to cover the world a few times over again. Yeah. Then they use, yeah, exactly. MR meh. Dude's trying to use his noodle. Exactly. Take that thought everywhere, sir. Exactly. So Holtz, a former food service worker and charter boat crewman, decided to run an experiment on September 1st. He sent job applications to a pair of restaurants that have been particularly public about their staffing challenges. And he widened the test and spent the remainder of the months applying to jobs where mostly at employers were vocal about lack of workers and tracking his journey in a spreadsheet. 2 weeks and 28 applications later, he had just 9 email responses, 1 follow-up phone call, and 1 interview with a construction company that advertised a full-time job. And check this out. Advertised full-time job focused on site cleanup, paying $10 an hour. But Holtz said the construction company instead tried to offer Florida's minimum wage of $8.65 to start, even though the wage was scheduled to increase $10 an hour on September 30th. So they were trying to say, yeah, you will get $10 an hour when the state increases their wages. He added that it wanted full-time availability while scheduling only part-time until you gain seniority. So it's a full-time job until you get seniority. Yikes. Holtz said he wasn't applying for any roles he didn't qualify for. Some jobs wanted high school diplomas, some wanted retail experience. Most of them either said willing to train or minimum experience, and none of them were over 12 an hour. Yeah, of course. He said, I didn't apply for anything that required a degree. I didn't apply anything that said must have 6 months of experience in this thing. Holtz isn't alone. Others have spoken about their troubles finding work despite seemingly tight labor market. In Facebook, on a post on September 29th, which went viral on Twitter and Reddit as well, Holtz sent 50 applications saying, you're all desperate for workers, you just miss your slaves. True. My opinion is that this is a familiar story to many. By the end of September, Holtz had sent out 60 applications, received 60 applications, 16 email response, 4 follow-up calls, and solitary interview. 1 interview. You would think that these employers who are desperate for employees would be like, I'll just take anybody who comes and I'll make sure that they stay here. Interesting. I like how some small business picked up on this and drastically increased their wages offering, and they were met with a tidal wave of applications. No kidding. No way. It's almost like if you make sure that you offer benefits, that people will apply. No way. While Holtz acknowledged that this result may not be representative of the larger labor challenges in the country since his search was local and targeted the most vocal critics of stimulus spending, he added that despite the claims of small business struggling to hire, his boss had no staffing issues during the pandemic. Nobody leaves these positions because he takes care of his people, referring to his boss. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. It's almost like all of this is kind of like artificially done to squeeze employees. because they're realizing employees are also starting to kind of get an understanding of how things are, especially after the pandemic. It's really woken up a lot of people. Yeah, and it turns out people don't want to work shit jobs for shit wages. No more time to waste. Chair of House Climate Panel warns ahead of COP26. The alarm bells are ringing. Code red has been declared. Yeah, multiple times throughout decades. With no less than the future of the planet at stake, Kathy Castor, the chair of the Select Committee on the Climate Crisis, has warned Democrats that there's precious little time left to enact President's aggressive climate agenda. I wouldn't put it like this, but it is something. If it gets enacted, in its full capacity, then it is something. U.S. President's aggressive climate agenda to avert the most catastrophic impacts of global warming. We just don't have any more time to waste. A Florida Congresswoman said in an interview with The Guardian, head of the UN climate talks in Scotland, "We have to act now or else we're condemning our children and future generations to a really horrendous time." Well, yeah, that's true. Climate scientists say the world must be kept at an average global temperature from rising more than 1.5 degrees Celsius compared with the pre-industrial era, or risk catastrophically more dangerous effects on climate change. Upon rejoining the global effort to confront the climate crisis, Joe Biden vowed that the U.S. would cut its emissions by 50 to 52% below 2005 levels by the end of this decade. Yeah, thanks, President Manchin. Perhaps the best hope of achieving this goal is the embedded legislation pending before Congress that must overcome the objection of coal state senator and razor thin. Yeah, I like this framing. Well, it isn't necessarily. Wait. It isn't really a coal state senator. Okay. And a razor thin Democratic majority, if enacted, Castor said the plan would slash the planet's heating emissions by accelerating America's transition away from fossil fuels would be the most important and far-reaching clean energy and climate bill ever passed by U.S. Congress. I don't know about that, but it is a start. And could potentially put some very important points on the board to then forward any climate change legislation. That's it. Speaking of President Manchin, there is a @POTUSManchin account on Twitter. Very funny. I see it's catching on. Right. Exactly. The very definition of an industrial complex. Exactly. But with days left before Biden expected to depart for the summit, significant obstacles remain. President Joe Manchin, one of the party's last remaining holdouts, has made clear that he does not support a proposed clean electricity program, effectively gutting the most powerful piece of Democratic climate plan. The $150 billion proposal, known as the CEPP, used a carrot and stick approach to reward energy utilities that transition from coal and natural gas to clean power sources like wind, solar, and nuclear, and penalizing those that did not. Yeah. Yeah, so TLDR, we do have to get this done. Failure to put any points on the board will does coal state just mean where it is my thought that global warming is a recurring process and we do accelerate the effects? Well, we are solely at blame here, MR. Meh. We are solely to be blamed here at the acceleration and causes of climate change. We are unequivocally, undisputedly to blame. There has been decades of data. Over 14,000 scientists from international communities have gotten together to basically confirm that fact. Exactly, Khalil. Ojo Potatoes, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. I'd like that framing better if they said Senator invested in the coal industry. Yeah, that's what I kind of read. I jumped the shark on that one. Octo Squiddies. After the Democratic takeover of the House in 2018, Castor was tapped to lead the newly created House Committee on the Climate Crisis. Its task was to conduct research and hearings that would educate the public about the threat posed by climate change and pave the way for mitigation legislation. Last year, the panel's Democratic members released a sprawling climate plan that aimed to put the nation on the path to achieving net zero greenhouse emissions by 2050. It also aimed to make the environmental justice a priority by focusing communities that are most vulnerable to climate change. Yeah, so where is that? Where is that? No. Do you think climate change has any correlation to the pole shift? No. I think that the greatest way to reduce climate change is to hit the source of the climate change, which is the major fossil fuel companies and agriculture, animal agriculture, commercialized farming. All of these are way more important. Nah, seriously, nope. Just straight up no. The best way to deal with climate change is actually addressing the source of it, which is emissions. Every human needs the things we change: a nice home, a car, a motorcycle. Okay, but that's weird because like homes can be powered by renewable energy. Computers can be powered by renewable energy. Are you okay? Twitch channels, which rely on electricity, can be powered by... Most of South Florida is powered by nuclear. Yeah, and you can make those materials from sustainable materials. But CO2 is much higher when dinosaurs had oversized creatures. Wouldn't we see size difference? No. Completely different apples and oranges. Even solar means more production. You can make it sustainable. What? Are you okay? Surely it's not the demand from humans that's causing the issue. It's the way the companies are meeting these demands and the way they're producing the goods and resources. Yeah. Like you can make hemp concrete. You can make hemp concrete. You can make things from sustainable methods. You can have solar panels powering homes. I'm all for reducing coals, but we have leaders encourage smaller families. Yeah, no. That's not how, like... That's not... What we need to encourage is less emissions and encourage the political will to decouple from fossil fuels. Period. And encourage more, encourage a different consumerism, encourage plant-based diets and things like that. We do have the propensity, but corporations lose money, so yeah, okay. Yeah, that's true. But the idea that, like, this is only to be solved by, like, reducing population is, like, wildly cringe. Like, we're so focused on, it's just bizarre. Instead of focusing where it's coming from, instead of focusing where the climate crisis is coming from, we are just kind of like moving into outer space here. Unrestricted reproduction is like a virus or humanity? What? What? How does that have to... What? This is like super cringe. Y'all are... some of you here are taking like the wild... the most bizarre and absurd takes. Reducing population would work though? No! Wait. Okay. There are massive corporations from oil and gas that do not care, and they are emitting infinitely way more than any type of like argument that you're making. If you reduce population without changing the system, the same yeah, thank you. Holy yikes. The takes that I'm seeing in here in chat are unbelievably asinine. No. No. Speaking of outer space, what color is your ticket? Blue. No. No, just no. Just no. The reality is, the overwhelming evidence is clear. The overwhelming evidence is clear. Okay? Human-caused climate change is, human-caused climate change is real. Has nothing to do with shifting polar, whatever it is. And the answer, the prescriptions that have been told to us by an international coalition of scientists for decades hasn't been or has never mentioned the words reduce population. Okay? It is a weird way to go. It is a bizarre take to head down in that direction, and it just doesn't match up with the consensus. Sorry. It is just weird, okay? It is just weird, and the reality is, it just doesn't. It just doesn't move. It just doesn't follow the line of what the prescriptions have been for decades, which has always been reduce emissions, reduce emissions, reduce emissions. Parts of degrowth is fine, but not the extremes. Culture reframing of opulence in the community. Yeah, like, I don't get it. It's just bizarre to me. Anyways, folks, it is 11:28. I do have to get going. The article's right. We have no time to waste. We need to get on it when it comes to climate change, and that requires a political will to do what needs to be done to cut emissions, period. Full stop. Renewables are the way to go. Yeah, weird way to end the stream. Yeah, it just like triggers me when people like think that they know what they're talking about, and then like it could just go completely and off base into like into outer space over here. That is just like such an asinine take. It happens. Anyways, folks, less people means less consumption. That's not how that works. Anyways, folks, as always, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. I love you all, and I hope to see you guys in the next one for Saturday Catterday. See ya. No, it doesn't work that way at all. Alright, folks, hang tight. We're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Thank you, Darknet. See ya.